Well, I've arrived. Well, it's the next day now. Mooring I rather like. I'm moored just north of Hawkesbury Junction. Yes, that was me. That is exactly what I said in the tail end of the last video. But I wasn't realising what was going to unfold quite shortly after filming this. Stay with me, and I hope it doesn't frighten you too much. But I won't be mooring here again, or at least not in the near future. Beautiful mooring as well, but watch out, see what happens. Good morning. I was in two minds whether to make this video or not. And you've probably read the title, Terror on the Towpath. And terrifying it was. It takes a lot to frighten me. I was frightened this day. I didn't know whether to bring this video to you or not, but I am going to. I don't actually have footage of what took place because I wasn't filming at the time. I didn't have the camera to hand. So what you're going to see is basically a reconstruction, and I've of course going to do the voices for both parties, myself and the person that was threatening me. So let's get on with the video. To start off with, I want to put you in the scenario. And here's the video where I was intending to moor up for a week because I was going to start working from the boat on the Monday, and this was the Saturday, I believe. May have been the Sunday, but I believe it's a Saturday this took place on. Yes, it was a Saturday. So I've decided I would chop some firewood up. Not much else to do that morning. I did have plenty already chopped up, but it was a lovely dry, cold morning. There's frost on the ground. I thought, oh, I'm going to chop some firewood. So that's what I was doing. So as you can see from that clip, I set up chopping firewood. Well, I'd finished chopping firewood. I'd had enough. I'd done enough. I'd done most of it. I decided it was time to stop. So I was just packing up. I had my axe in one hand, hammer in the other hand, and I've got my chopping blocks in front of me, just about putting everything away. I put all the wood on the roof. Next thing I know, two motorcyclists come down the towpath. The next thing, two motorcyclists come flying down the towpath on these dirt bikes. One goes one side of me, one goes the other side between myself and the boat, and the one that goes this side of me does that and kicks over my chopping blocks. At which point I went, oi! Of course, they then stop, and then I start getting some grief. So there they are. I'm standing here, still holding my axe and my hammer, just like this, just down beside me. And these two lads on motorcycles, one of them on the smaller, there's two different size bikes, one large bike, one smaller bike. And the one on the smaller bike, I don't think was even old enough to be on a bike. It's been on a road anyway. They've both got their helmets on, so I can't see them. I don't know what they look like. But the older one then shouts at me, "Oi, you effing old man, get back in your boat." Of course, he used the word fully. And I just stood there, I didn't say a word. I just stood there staring at him. And I still got, standing like this, not threatening anyone. I'm just standing, I picked them up, I was putting things away. So I stood my ground and I didn't move. I just stood there As I said, I had axe in one hand, hammer in the other. It was how I was. It wasn't as if I was using them in a threatening way. I was just putting my tools away when they came by. Anyway, the older one, of course, shouts out again, "I told you to get in your effing boat." Well, I just stood there again, didn't move, didn't say a word. And then he went, looked like he was going to get off his bike. He didn't actually get off, but he started to. And said to me again, "I told you to get in your boat." At this point in time, I just looked at him. I said, "I'll take my chances out here. If I get in my boat, I've got no idea what you're going to do. I'll take my chances out here." At which point, he put his other leg over his bike and was stood there beside his bike. I thought, well, here he comes. Then he looked at me again, put his leg back over his bike and shouted at me, "We'll be back tonight and we'll torture you and your boat." Lo and behold, to me, I didn't realise, but just standing opposite in the fields, there was a couple of dog walkers, and they'd seen everything that had gone on. And they shouted, "Are you okay?" I said, yeah. And they said, "We thought they were going to go after you. We was ready to call the police." I said, "What you couldn't see, because I'm standing beside my boat, I had my axe in one hand and the hammer in the other." And I think, although I was never using it in a threatening way, I think it was a deterrent enough to stop them coming at me. I said, what I am going to do, I'm going to move my boat right now, because I can't stay awake all night, and if they happen to come back tonight, it'll be and torch my boat. So I'm going to move. And at that point in time, this was 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I moved basically until it got dark. So I moved quite fast, and I moved nearly 10 miles up the canal. So that was me being rather frightened on the towpath. I hope it never happens to anyone else again. And I was moored just north of Hawkesbury Junction, just to let you know where the old mine was, and the old pits were over there, where it's all been levelled out now, and it's recreational ground, I believe, was where it all took place. Just to let you know, if there's some bikers around down on that towpath, I understand they're always up and down that towpath, beware. And I was told they're bad ends. So this is where I came to, just short of Springhaven Marina. Springhaven Marina is over by those trees. Another beautiful spot, so this is where I spent the week. So my apologies, not the beautiful cruising video perhaps you're all hoping for. I felt I had to bring that video to you. That just leaves me to say, thank you very much for watching. Trevor out.